Hi everybody, it's Lace, and we're back with part 3 for the Soda Wiki. We're going to start getting into more of the editing stuff, and again, that's sodawiki.net, and that's going to bring us to this main page here. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind is, in order to effectively edit pages, you need to be able to go back and re-edit the pages you already edited, or in case you made a mistake, or learn how to change things and stuff. So before we get into the formal editing rules and stuff, I just want to show the importance of creating the account and logging in and why that's going to be important before we actually get into the nitty gritty of, the syntax and stuff of editing pages. So as a brand new user, I would just go in and click create account, or if I was a returning user, I'd hit login. I am not going to hit that right now at the moment because it will show my IP address up at the top, and you never know, there may be some haters out there that want to attack me. So I don't really want to reveal my IP address. But you would basically, it's a standard login or create an account, and you're going to give a name, you're going to give a password, and stuff like that. And that's it for that. Okay, so now that you're logged in, I just want to go into contributions. And what this is going to do is show the things that I've done most recently. As you can see, I haven't done anything since June 20th because I'm a very bad girl. But you can see that this was the last page that I edited, and then all the pages that I've edited. I can also hit this difference button, and that's going to show me exactly what I changed. And you're going to see that it said 1 wax, and I changed it to 5 waxes. I updated this recipe. If I go back, I can also hit history, and that's going to show me a history of all the changes. So that was the one that we just talked about. Before that, somebody hadn't touched this since November 2015, and someone was reorganizing how recipes went. That looks like. Somebody did some soft leather to supple leather replacement through a robot. That's an awesome feature. That's something that the wiki can do when there's wide sweeping dev changes, which doesn't require a person to have to go and change all those names. And you can, anyway, it's just going to show you some of the things that have been changed in a particular page. You probably won't look at that much, but it's there to look at. So now if I go to this page directly, which I can see it, and I look at it, I can see that the recipe now says the 5 wax, which is exactly what I changed it to when I looked at the difference. It went from 1 wax to 5 wax. So it's highlighting my change. And when you're editing pages and maybe you made a mistake and I don't know, you might have deleted a whole section or something. You're like, oh my God, how do I get it back? Well, it would show up in this differences, and then I could, possibly, copy this. I would open the page. I would have another copy of the page opened up. And again, these are advanced techniques we'll go into later. But I'd have the page opened up here. I'd have the old thing, and I could copy and stick it back in and fix my mistake. Uh, that's not to say that editors, the actual main wiki staff wouldn't notice that there was, 2,500 lines deleted from a page, and they'd go, huh? That doesn't seem right. And there's reports and stuff that they can do. Things like that would track like people like trolls that are going around and editing or deleting and wreaking havoc. They can do IP bans. They can do, user-based bans and things like that. So that's one way that, behind the scenes, they're having to police this stuff. Not only are you able to help edit, there are malicious folks, and we need to beat them down strongly. Big stick, beat down. Okay, next I've navigated back to the main page. You can click this banner anytime when you're on the other pages. And I'm back here, and what I want to go into now is recent changes. And again, I can access this from special pages, one of my favorite spots because we got the category section. Where is it? Where's my favorite spot? Yeah, categories. But anyway, I can also see recent changes and logs. So I can go into either new pages that were added, logs of changes, but what I want to see is recent changes. What I'm wanting to point out here is you can see who all's been actively editing. And as you're going to see pretty much of late, it's always Browncoat Jason. This man has put in tireless amounts of hours into trying to update the wiki. And when we went back to the main page, we see this contributor number of 395. That's the total number over all the history of time over 2 years. lately that number, if you only went and tried to say how many people in the last 7 days or the last 7 months have entered data, I'm gonna bet it's about 7 to 10. I'm making this number up because all statistics on the internet are false, but it's not going to be 395. 395 is the history. Bronco Jason is just constantly doing stuff. He's answered a million questions to enable me to do these videos and try to get these concepts out to people so that we can get more help, because this is a huge project. Okay, this next thing is going to be our first editing interaction. We are logged in and stuff, and we've created our account, and I'm going to go over how to upload a file. This is one of the things that's a little bit buried deeper than the upcoming tutorials we're going to go through, but a lot of people have some questions. And when you're out hunting and you're in a scene, this is one of the easiest ways you can contribute, is to make a screenshot of the area you're in and then upload it to the page. So let's pretend I've been hunting and I've done a screenshot and I've opened it in Paint or whatever tools I have, and I've kind of cropped it down and maybe taken out the the title of Soda Wiki release 7/1/2016 or whatever. Maybe just cropped it down to where it's really just an image of the scene. We're going to pretend that. And I do have one, and it's actually one from an old Hospitalers meeting, like I think the first one, and it's one I took. Now I think there were some better ones used in the actual update of the avatar, but we're just going to upload mine for now, and it can be deleted later and stuff. But we're just going to use it to be an example. So I'm going to go to the Hospitalers page. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. We're going to go to Special Pages, so you can see how to upload it. And when I go up here, I'm going to scroll down, Upload File, Media Reports and Uploads. That's what you're looking for in Special Pages. I'm going to go to Upload File, and when I say Choose File, it's going to allow me to choose a file from my hard drive, which is what we're going to do. So I have one called Hospitalers or something like that. I think number 6 is the one I'm looking for. Yep, number 6, and I'm going to say Open. And there's all these Hospitalers in a circle with some poor cornered Outlanders, and that's the file. Now I can give it a description. Now my file name is Hospitaler 6. You might want to say just Hospitaler random photo, because that's more descriptive of what it really is. It's just a random photo, and this was from one of the first Hospitaler meetings in New Britannia. Licensing. This is a thing that I don't know the license. It's a Shroud of the Avatar image. This is a game asset from Shroud of the Avatar because it was taken in the game. This could be an unaltered screenshot. Mine was altered because I did chop some things off. This is an official image. Well, it's definitely not official. This image is copyrighted. I don't know. Don't use Nike symbols and stuff. This image is created and released under free. You know how you can get free stuff from myicon.org free, or the image is public domain. None may apply. For me, I know this is a game asset from Shroud of the Avatar. It is altered. It's not official. So this is what I'm going to choose. So you can guess, or you can say, if you're really unsure, I don't know the license. Just as a CYA, cover your So I'm going to say that. So it's fair use. I can say watch this file so I can see if anybody uses my image in another page. I don't really care. That should do it. So I'm going to say upload file. And again, the name that I had was hospitalerrandomphoto.png. I'm just going to make a little copy of that, I think. When you see how to include it in a file, how to include a file in a page, you see it's file : file.jpg, where file is going to be hospitalerrandomphoto.png. You can crop it and set it and do all those formatting things that you would do in normal web pages if you want, or if you just want it as a link without actually showing, previewing it, these are your terms. So it's basically file : file name, and all this in double quotes. This is going to be our first editing experience, and I am doing this off the fly. So if we make mistakes, we'll learn from those too. So there it is. I'm going to say upload file. And again, I made a copy of the name so I knew what it was. But here's Hospitaller Random Photo. So now if I go to the page Hospitaller, which I know does exist because I pre-checked that out. Oops, and of course, oh, I didn't spell it right. Bad me. Do this again. Again, we're doing this live. Well, I know there's a page for it. Maybe it's Hospitallers. Again, live. There we go, Hospitallers. Okay. Now, one of the things I did before coming in here is I added this gallery into the table of contents so we could do this photo. And how I did that basically was I was on this page and I hit edit. And how these table of contents works is it's these double equal signs on each side adds a piece to the table of contents. So you can see I just came in at the bottom, added the word gallery. Okay, now I'm editing the page, and I believe it goes, what was it? We might do this wrong a few times, but that's okay. File, colon. I copied the name of the file, and I'm going to do the double bang there on the brackets, and that should do it. Now I can do a show preview. I don't really want to watch this page. I can do a show preview, and let's see if it came up. Up, there it is. It is there. After external links, references, there's my gallery. Now the editors of SodaWiki, you know, the true main editors may like gallery above these things. I don't have a format of how they wanted it, so they may want to move this gallery up, and they would just do that by going into the text, and they'd take this chunk here of gallery, and I think references is usually the last thing, and external links is always last. See also, this will probably be before see also. So then I can add this in here, and I can hit save page, and we're going to hit save page because I'm pretty confident in what we just did. And now we have this page, and we have see also, we have history, gallery, see also. So gallery, so here we could include all the photos that we've taken of Hospitallers. Again, this is the first one, and somebody may want to come up and, you know, there were better pictures taken than the one I took. I thought it was a cool shot, so, you know, I can just now contribute it. So there it is. So again, if I go back to my contributions page, which we kind of covered, look, there's where I just did this, and you can see where I added basically the gallery. There's where I did the photo upload, and then there's where you know, I updated the page. So basically that's how you do a file. Your big part's going to be, you know, formatting it, cropping it, and make sure it looks good. This is kind of big maybe for the page, and maybe I should have gone through and maybe made it a little bit smaller. This was just a temporary demo just to show you how easy it is to upload a file, and that's one of the easy ways that you can contribute to the wiki is by just doing screenshots and putting them in the appropriate place to help other players, you know, get a visibility. You know, don't go around showing dance scene shots and stuff like that, because, you know, that's pretty random. But this was a Hospitaller group, and it showed a lot of names here and stuff, and it may not be appropriate, but it works for the demo. So currently there are two ways that you can report outdated information, or, you know, if you don't want to, you know, edit it yourself, you know, to update the information, and, you know, maybe you're scared of editing even after we get through the next few videos. It's also very helpful if you know, leave a message about it, or you can also use the talk page. We're going to cover right now the leave a message. So if I go to the top of this screen, and this is going to be in pretty much every page, I can click this leave a message button. This is going to take me to the Shroud of the Avatar forums, and if I'm signed in, you know, it's going to send me directly there. I'm just going to click it, and there we go. So now here I am. This is the SodaWiki update thread. It's going to start out on page 1. Of course, we'd probably want to go to page 3. So let's see. Iron bars need to be removed from the following page, and also the iron bar page needs to be something done with because they aren't in game anymore. And somebody gave a link and said what it is, and Browncoat Jason says, I'll mark the iron bar removed, which should be taken care of. Thanks. So that's an example of something, you know, somebody said, hey, SodaWiki's out of date, and they left a message via the in-game forums for it to be corrected. That is one way. Alright, so now the second way to report an issue, besides the forums, is to use what they call talk. Now, you're going to see a thing talk when you're signed in. You won't see that if unless you're, signed in and you're using anonymous, but you're going to, want to use that because the talk is like a personal, private message. The Soda Wiki editors and community managers and things like that can say, hey, stop editing the pages this way, do it this way, it'll save us time coming behind you. They can correct, misbehavior. And when I say misbehavior, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, teaching you how to do things. I don't know how to do everything, and I've had to been, corrected at times. But really, when they say talk, that's besides the alert to leave a message on the forums, they're wanting to know when you think something's out of date and you're not comfortable editing it. To do that, you would go and hit this discussion. So when I'm looking at this page, this one doesn't have any discussion because nobody's felt anything's out of date, in controversy, or under duress or anything like that. But let's pretend I didn't think this was the right color. We have red here, we have white there. I don't know. Maybe I think this should be red. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just using that as an example. So I'm going to hit discussion. And it's going to bring up this text dialog here where I can literally say what's on my mind. Say what is on my mind. And the important thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to assign this with 4 tildes. And I'm going to hit tilde 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be found in your upper left corner of your keyboard. It's probably not a keystroke that you hit often. But those 4 tildes, when I end up going down here and saying save page, I probably wouldn't want to watch it, but I'd go down and save it. When I do that, that's going to alert the staff, and I'm talking about the full-time staff that's put 1 billion hours into this, that you think there's a problem with the page, and then go and investigate it. Now, of course, you would want to, take care of things you can edit on your own, like quantities, like the previous example was 1 wax to 5. Just edit it. Not a big deal. You don't need to tell them, hey, I edited this, hey, look at that. Just fix the problems and do that. That's how most wikis work in the real world, regardless if it's a game or not. People just go in and edit things. Sometimes they ask questions, and this would be one of the ways that you could ask a question, or if you don't feel like editing it or you're unsure of your references, you could use it for that. Really, the main thing is just go ahead and edit it if you think it's wrong and fix the correction. So I think that kind of covers those 2 points. So I've been promising for several videos to get you into the editing. And, I've kind of taken the long-about way to that, kind of showing you file uploads and logging in and differences. But let's actually first start to get to the meat of the matter. So I'm going to hit the main page by clicking there. Yeah, I don't want to save my changes. And we're going to go down here. And here's the thing, things to do. I'm going to click that. This is going to show me, if you see, obviously things I've been stressing, update it or change it, help add pages to match the manual style. That's the first place you're going to want to look. I'm going to click on that. And this is going to tell me all kinds of stuff about how they would like it laid out. I'm not going to go over everything, but they're going to show you how, how the preferred ways to do things are. You need to investigate this on your own and kind of read through it. If you have questions, feel free to post them, on this YouTube video, and I will try to forward them to the proper person. Also, probably you can use, Browncoat Jason on the official forums, and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them or possibly direct you to someone else. He probably is super busy all the time. He's been extremely helpful to me, but you can't burden one person with 1 million things. I will try to answer what I can. Please try to read through this, and this is think of this as kind of your homework before the 4th tutorial, because I don't want to sit here and read off everything that's on the page here. But that's your first thing, manual of style. Don't think of it as it's like, oh my god, I have to learn all these things. No, don't. The other things to do is add missing pages. And when we say missing pages, see how some things were red? And like when we were showing the discussion, it was red. Well, it was red because there was nothing in the discussion on that page. That's a good thing. Now these red things, when it says, wanted pages, that means that somewhere somebody has used a double bracket, the word gold, and then a double bracket after it. That means it needs to be defined. Now to me, gold is very simple, and this is probably an easy one to knock out, is gold is a monetary unit of measure used by the seller to determine what their perceived value of the item is. Uh, you might think that a piece of corn is worth, 100 gold. Somebody else might think it's worth 25. So I just want to point out that gold is a perceived value, uh, as with all markets, as we've encountered in the world. Brexit, everything else, it's a perceived value. That's gold. Alignment. Alignment, if you clicked into these 62 links here, like I'll just do that really quickly, 62 times the word alignment's been used, and you'll see it's mostly mobs and stuff, right? And that was probably because they were set up as placeholders very early on, several years ago, when it was unsure if creatures would have alignment. If you go back to the old D&D measures of things, chaotic evil, chaotic neutral, neutral neutral, chaotic good, and all those things, maybe they were thinking that that was a possibility. Remember, this wiki was built, the framework was built before many things have been done in the game. So a lot of these creatures have alignments dictated as possibilities in what's called the creature box. Now we're going to get into boxes more, but pretty much everything has a box. There's vendor boxes, there's NPC boxes, there's just resource boxes, and that's going to categorize the things that are contained within them. I don't want to get too much into that now, but in these creature boxes, there is an item called alignment, and it was set up ahead of time to be able to define that later. Probably not going to be that important now, but I'm just trying to point out on this wanted page why you might see some things that you're going to go, well, that doesn't really matter. And of course, it's listed by the number of times it's been done. A grizzly bear. I'm going to bet that the grizzly bear has been mentioned as a mob/monster in a bunch of scenes, and he's been put in double brackets. So at some point somebody needs to define a grizzly bear to make it complete. Now the grizzly bear in different scenes is going to have different hit points, so that probably needs to be further expanded. That I don't know, a tier 1 grizzly bear has 100 hit points, a tier 2 has 200. I'm just making these numbers up. Or very simplistically, we say a grizzly bear is a, I don't know, it's not bovine, or what is a bear? Is it circine, or is that pig? I don't know. Whatever the "ein" thing of a bear is, that could be very simply the definition of a grizzly bear, and that could be, documented. What would happen is that because these pages don't exist, if I click on it, it actually creates the new page for that, and that red's going to disappear from that list, and I can say, well, duh, you idiot, it's a frickin' bear. I'm not going to do that, but technically, I could say it's a bear. And if I did that, and I went back to this page, hello, there we go, and I went back to this page, grizzly bear would dump off this list. It's just, these are the stubs that, haven't been created, but where somebody in a description of a POT, or not POT, in any article in this wiki, they've used the double brackets to denote that this is an item that should have its own stub page. Some of these probably don't deserve stub pages, and that's part of the cleanup effort. But that is the thing about the missing links page. Going back to this, fill out unfinished articles. Unfinished articles, if I recall correctly, I'm just going to click into this one, Melissa, so this article is a stub. You can help it by expanding it. The way you denote a stub, and I believe it's this, yep, that's it. You put the parenthetic double brackets around it. I don't know if that's the right term, but anyway, it's the curly braces, double curly braces, and the word stub, and that's going to make it appear in this list. So once this article is filled out, the editor would go in here and they would remove this piece from it, write out the real name, and save it. And then it's going to drop off. Whoops, one more back, one more back. Hello. There we go. And it would drop off this list. So that's the next thing. Let's see what else we got. We can cover real quickly here. Uh, verify recipes. That's again another, a double checker. Somebody's put in, let's see. I think this has got a whole long process, and you should read this. Um, there's a tag in there that's saying it's unverified, and this is a way to update them. I would absolutely not spend any time whatsoever right now, and this is as of R31, trying to verify recipes, because I expect them to change. I think the lumber is absolutely ridiculous for what's required to make things. It's a ton for metal, but the lumber is just absolutely out of control. Personal opinion, as somebody that likes to deco, but that'll be up to you, and you'll have to feedback that. I wouldn't really try to waste my time on that, because I just really think it's too much in flux, and I think some people are smoking crack. Did I say that with my outer voice? I did. Anyway, I think that's going to conclude this part of the tutorial. I know I promised to get into nitty gritty, and we only kind of touched on the surface, and I think now it's looking like it may be 2 more tutorials at least to get through a lot of this editing stuff. There's just so much to cover, and every day I'm learning more and more thanks to Browncoat Jason and other people from Wiki. Again, I'm not really an editor. I'm just like you. I'm just trying to learn, and I'm just trying to teach you guys how to help them out, because helping them out helps out the entire community. So happy hunting, be safe, and take care.